Hey guys, how's it going? So I want to talk about a couple of things real quick before I head on out. I got some things to do tonight, but I just want to talk about mainly franchise tag period came and went. We didn't tag anybody, so as expected, more or less. I thought there was a chance we would tag Steven Hauschka, but I don't consider Hauschka to be a top five kicker, so I don't think he should be paid like one. So I have no problem with us not tagging him. And nobody else on this team who was a free agent deserved anywhere near close to the franchise tag. So no complaints there. I mentioned in a previous video that I don't think we're going to hit free agency very hard this year. I think we're going to keep some of our own guys, refill through the draft, and just sit pat. And I'm going to stick to that prediction. But just for the sake of argument, I was looking at the players who did get tagged, and there were only 8 this year. I saw 4 guys who I would have considered looking at if they hit the market that got tagged. Henry Melton, Michael Johnson of the Bengals, Anthony Spencer, and Randy Starks on the Dolphins. So to me, that thins out the guys we would have considered looking at even more. At this point, the only guy who I thought was going to get franchise tagged that didn't, that is going to demand a big free agent contract potentially, that I would even consider looking at is Michael Johnson. I'm sorry, Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had 9 sacks last year, career high by far. I mean, he had 6 career sacks in 3 seasons, so he could just be a one-hit contract year wonder. So I would say I probably still don't want him, but that's the only guy I'm really looking at in terms of big name free agents. But I want to throw this out there. John Abraham got cut by the Falcons. They're cutting people to get underneath the salary cap threshold, and they need to give Matt Ryan his money. So John Abraham has had a long career playing at a high level, getting a lot of sacks, being a pure pass rusher. Last year had 10 sacks, but had none in the last 4 games and didn't play in the playoffs, I don't think. He didn't have any statistical impact in the playoffs, at least, either playoff game. So I looked at that and I'm like, is he getting old? Are they letting him go because they know he doesn't have it anymore and last year he ran out of gas? Or was it simply a move to get under the cap and he can still play? So the only guy who I saw moving around, who's now a free agent, that intrigued me was John Abraham. If you look at this team right now, we have 2 pass rushers. Nobody else on this roster right now can pass rush worth a crap other than Bruce Irvin and Chris Clemens. And Chris Clemens is coming off a major knee injury. And Bruce Irvin is not a every down player. Now, some will say neither is John Abraham, especially at this point. So my question is, what are we going to do with Bruce Irvin? Is he going to be a pure pass rusher who we bring in on passing situations like he was last year? Or are we going to tell him, bulk up a little bit, put on more weight, become better against the run? We'll sacrifice a little bit of your pass rushing skills if you become an every down player. Just become somebody who we can put in the game on a majority of the plays. So if that's the case, if that's what we plan to do, then we can bring in John Abraham to kind of be that off the bench pass rusher instead of Bruce Irvin, and Bruce Irvin becomes the full-time player. And again, I still have some real concerns about Chris Clemens coming back. So John Abraham, what do you guys think? He's made his money in this league. He's made a lot of money in this league already, and my concern would be he did have double-digit sacks last year, so he's still a capable pass rusher. Because of that, is he going to still demand a significant amount of money? Because there is definitely a low limit on what I would be willing to pay a John Abraham. He might be washed up. I mean, or at the very least, he might be too old to contribute in the later half of the season in the playoffs. He might just be somebody who shows up for September, October, and that's it. We don't need that right now because looking at this team, even though we took a pass rusher in the first round last year, I still see us as being a team that needs pass rush help. We were barely average last year in terms of our pass rush, especially at the end of the year. So you guys let me know what you think, John Abraham. And just in case I need to give some context, we are currently $18 million under the cap, and our rookie salary pool is going to be about $6 million this year. So after we draft all our rookies and sign them, we're looking at 12 million under the cap. So you guys let me know what you think. That 12 million under the cap is a very good number, but I'll be making another video down the pipe, and I'll talk about how I'm a little worried about what we're going to do next year and the year after, but that's for another video. So let me know what you think. See you guys later.